Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John Dimitri. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It is so great to have all of you tuning us in and turning us on. I'm Dr. Pat. This is the Dr. Pat Show. You're probably listening on either the Dr. Pat Show, Transformation Talk Radio, or one of the many apps that we have that I can't even begin to tell you. It actually doesn't matter. Wherever you're listening from or however you're listening, oh, wow. We're thrilled. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Thank you so much for being who you are. I've said this like 100 times. You all are the best listeners on the planet. And, you know, this is why all of us here keep doing what we're doing and why the folks that we get to bring on are all about supporting all of you in your amazing journey. Wow. I have got a great, great guest now coming up here. Just when you think it can't get any better, boom, there we go. Change your aura, change your life. You know, this is an interesting book title, but it's also an interesting message because many of us who did not grow up in the world of energy, in the world of light beings, you know, first of all, many of us don't even know what an aura is. But secondly, we didn't know we had any control over changing it. You know, Dimitri Moraiti is joining us here today, and I hope I didn't kill his name like I'm really known for. But today's show is all about this. Now, if you're Dimitri, this is what you're thinking. I've just co-written this beautiful, beautiful book. I'm out in the world. I speak in communities. I'm co-founder and executive director of the Spiritual Arts Institute, teacher, healer, co-author of many, many things, but most importantly, I'm somebody that is on a mission. And the mission that I am on is to have everybody out there know, without any question mark at all, that we can change our lives. And here is the mystery of doing it. Dimitri, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
You know, let's start with what I said, the comment I said, because I think some people, and probably a lot of people right now, have heard the term aura.
Right.
But
right.
Many people are like, well, wait a minute. I think I know what that is. And I think it's kind of like, you know, the old dialogue about personality. You know, whatever it is, you're kind of stuck with it. So I'd love for you to re-educate us.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely not stuck with it.
Okay.
And some people use the term, you know, vibes. I love that person's vibe, or I don't like that person's vibe.
Yeah.
So, and that is one of the definitions of the aura. It is a vibratory essence that surrounds all living things. So there is an inner spiritual essence, and this can actually be perceived, and this is what we call the auric field. It can also be called our individual expression of the universal life force. You know, we're starting to understand physical energy better than ever before. But behind the entire physical universe, there is a spiritual universe, and there is a spiritual power that's fueling that universe. Just like we have a physical sun and it sends light to us, there is a spiritual light that shines on each of us. And as we use that energy, because it is meant to be used, the expression of it is our aura. So, for example, if you're a scientist and you're deep in the throes of your scientific research and discovery, you're attracting certain universal energies that are helping you to accomplish that, and that will show up as part of your auric energy. Now, if you're an artist, you're going to attract very different type of aspects of the universal life force because you're using it in a very different way. So your aura is actually changing on a regular basis. Let's say you were feeling terrific and you got some news that shocked you. That's going to change your energy. Now, it won't change everything, but it will change certain facets of it. So, yes, our right now, what we're thinking this very minute, everyone listening this minute, wherever your thought patterns are right now, that's showing up in your aura. Where you are emotionally, that's showing up in your aura as well. But you can definitely, the whole point of the book and the whole point of working with the aura is to change it. We are never stuck with an aura the way it is. We can always make it better, and we make it better through two basic ways. One way we've been doing from the beginning of time, which is through every good word, thought, act, and deed. So every positive thing you do, even if you're not getting patted on the back for it, is adding to your energy and building up your auric power. And the other way is actually through meditation. And that's what we actually teach in the book, that there is a way to draw in that universal life energy, bring it into your auric field, and then as you express it in your life, it becomes a part of you. We were talking about in the book how, let's say you need more confidence in your life. Let's say you're a loving, kind person, but, maybe you don't always stand up for yourself when you really should. Maybe it's time for you to get that raise, but you just haven't had the courage to go into the office and say, I deserve this. Well, in the aura, the energy of confidence shows up as this very brilliant gold light, a golden energy. And so you can call on that energy to give you more confidence. And then as you literally take that step, it becomes a part of your auric field. So you just naturally will become, over time, a more confident individual, in addition, let's say, to the loving person you already are. So that's the whole point of working with the aura. You can work with it in any facet of your life, because the aura shows where you are in terms of your emotions, in terms of your thoughts, in terms of your health. Your talents show up in your aura. Your spirituality shows up in your aura. Believe it or not, your career, your financial energies, how you're dealing with people, all this shows up in the aura. It is the energetic blueprint of the soul. So everything that's in us is reflected somewhere in the auric field.
Well, I want to talk with you about the book in detail too today, because I love that you call this, if you don't mind, a step-by-step guide to unfolding your spiritual power.
Right.
And, we've been talking on the show about a number of different things, but our theme this year, Dimitri, is accelerated expansiveness. We came up with, every year we come up with a theme, but this one hit us last year, I'd say probably around Thanksgiving it started. And, we started to talk about what we were feeling, what some movement, some shifting was. And, most folks, even us here, we don't know what it means to unfold our spiritual power. And I want to jump right in with that conversation. From your perspective, this is a book that's going to help folks do that. And yet at the same time, I don't think many of us even know that is important to do. We'll be right back with the show.
Transformation Talk Radio is dedicated to the education and awareness of Lyme disease.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Lyme Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Pat, joined here by
Dr. Nusheen Darvish.
Dr. Pat Basili and Dr. Nusheen Darvish will be bringing the most innovative, groundbreaking information, research, treatment innovations, and stories from those it affects every day.
I'm so excited to be talking about this.
We have so much to share.
Dr. Darvish and I are planning to do is connect the dots.
People suffering with all sorts of chronic diseases, it's time. It is time for them to transform.
Tune into Lyme Talk Radio and help keep our mission strong.
For the loyal listeners out there that have been listening to this incredible show on Lyme disease, we are not going to let you down. We're going to come through stronger and enrich the platform for Lyme disease awareness through Lyme Talk Radio. The message will continue, the conversations will become stronger, and the healing epic. Hey everyone, meet my friends at the maca team. The ancient Inca root vegetable maca is known worldwide for its huge array of health benefits. As a family-run company of true maca specialists, the maca team is here to bring you the best maca the Peruvian mountains has to offer. Yellow maca, used to promote endurance, vitality, fertility, hormone health, and much more is on sale now. I love it. Visit themakateam.com to order yours now. Themakateam.com.
TheAngelLady.net. 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 1-800-323-1790. 1-800-323-1790. Sue Storm. TheAngelLady.net.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Ronnie DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Ronnie DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Ronnie DeLuce at info@ronniedeluceonradio.com and visit mtheholisticretreat.com. Dr. Ronnie DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Pat. Many of you have heard me talk about the Lyme disease epidemic going on right now in the world. I want to tell you about my friends at Results RNA. They have now created an entire Lyme support system for immune system support, detoxification, rejuvenation, and neurological healing. Please visit resultsrna.com to learn more, and for first-time orders, you'll receive a special 10% discount. All you have to do is type in Dr. Pat at checkout. Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I'm telling you, this happens all the time. If you're thinking, what just happened to the show? Then here's what I'm going to say. Benny and I have been doing this now for like 13 plus years. And whenever we have somebody like Dimitri on the show, and then we've just had Lynn Brown on the show, and we're talking about money, and we're talking about aura, and we're talking about changing our lives. Yeah, this is still technology. And sometimes we just power up the circuits, overload them, and boom, that's what happens. Because I was asking him a very important question, right, Dimitri? I was saying, what is it? Maybe Spirit's got a message for me. I said, spiritual power. Why is unfolding our spiritual power so important? And please, most of us floating around on the planet don't even know we have spiritual power.
Right.
Yeah.
It's driving everything. Well, we know already there's nothing we can do without energy. But also behind all the physical energy is the spiritual. So it's literally powering our soul. It's powering our consciousness. It's doing everything. The more light you have, the higher in consciousness you climb, and the more higher in consciousness you climb, the more light you have. So it's a matter of just accessing it and expressing it. As you draw more of it in, it's like a spiritual sun that's lighting all of us right now. And it's, by the way, even supporting the atoms. We talk a lot about, healing in the aura. Well, the atoms of the body are electrified, but what's holding that electrical charge together is a spirit power. Withdraw that power even for an instant, and the body will disintegrate. So it's been around, and actually mystics, of course, have known this through the ages, and people have seen this, through the ages. But what's so beautiful about now is that this is almost like the whole, like you say, the whole planet is kind of waking up to realizing that there is this greater potential out there, and I can tap it. I can be a part of it.
And, here's the second part of the question, and this is what I was so excited to ask you about. I don't know that everybody listening to the show, I certainly wasn't, initially, running around saying, bring it on. Bring it on, Dimitri. Bring it on. I think that, this is where we are at choice. And that's why I said to you earlier, change your aura, change your life. And congratulations. Today is the launch of this book.
Yep.
It is incredible. I love that we've got pictures in here, and we're going to talk a lot more about this. But, this is what I'm asking you. Some of us have gone through life thinking we're not a choice. that we're really not a choice to unfolding our spiritual power. And yet spirit keeps knocking on the door. Can you talk about what it is that can help us understand why we need to be in a giant yes about this?
Well, first of all, we do come to this earth with a purpose. Every single person, we don't come here randomly. There's a great plan that brings us here. The spiritual hierarchy teaches us about what's called the tapestry of life that each of us has, and there's like a mission we come on to, and it's not a mission impossible, it's a mission possible, but it will demand the very best of us. So even if you weren't aware of spiritual energy, really every day we should be challenging ourselves a little more, stretching our wings a little more. If you find yourself in kind of a humdrum situation, do something to change it. Do something to bring a different part of your energy, and we have to express that creative power. We're doing this naturally, but when you call on spiritual energy, you're going to be able to do it faster, more effectively, and your chances of success are going to be higher. I mean, in other words, if I'm trying to be that confident person and I just try, I'm going to be attracting that energy anyway. But when you call on it directly, it's like an infusion. It's giving you this booster shot that you wouldn't have already had. And that's the beauty of working with divine life, that you can, it's already there, but when you consciously call on it and work with it, the process quickens. And this is a time, the higher has taught that there's never been a better time to grow spiritually than today. There are more spiritual opportunities today than there have ever been on this earth, and that we're still in the beginning stages of what is becoming a spiritual renaissance. So this is going to increase in future generations. We're not only building this for ourselves, we're building it for future generations. I mean, look, 100 years ago, those pioneers taught about the idea of mind over matter, that what you think can affect your body physically, and that was a revolutionary idea at that time. Now we're realizing that thought is also connected to a spiritual power in this century, and that we can access that, and that will make an even greater impact on our life. So, and it's not hard to do. It just requires a little dedication. We encourage everybody to meditate daily. It doesn't have to be a long meditation, but, make it like brushing your teeth, a normal part of your active daily world. And this is your time away from life. It's your one-on-one time with God. You building your power, and then you go out in the day and you express that energy. And this balance of meditating and activity is what creates a tremendous stability in your life. And even if you think you're too busy to meditate, we have some people say, I like the idea, but my schedule's so crazy. Well, the first thing we usually say is, are you telling me you're too busy for God? If this is your one-on-one time with God, are you saying too busy to get into the silence? Try it, make that a priority, and notice how the rest of your day actually falls into a better place because you prioritize. We are in an age right now where there's so many things we can do. I mean, we're so bombarded with so many different options. We have to be a little bit like what Steve Jobs said, where he was saying, I have to say no 1,000 times to the one thing I have to say yes to. So we do have to make certain choices of what's important in our life and emphasize those choices, and then we're going to have a lot more satisfaction in our life. We can do a lot of things, but there's nothing more satisfying than complete your purpose, why you came here. There's no thrill more satisfying than that. So we encourage people, working with spiritual energy helps in every part of your life, but most importantly, it helps with your spiritual development, and it helps you to achieve your real purpose, what you really came here to do.
And I want to ask you about this. I made a comment earlier before, and I know that you're totally plugged into this. Both you and Barbara, of course, Barbara Martin. But I want to ask you about this. I made a statement that our theme this year is accelerated expansiveness. We don't really have any logical reason as to why that showed up for us. But I will tell you, in the first 3 months of this year, that theme for the year is literally an understatement for so many things in terms of the work we're doing, the expansion, building a network that is all conscious positive talk, 10 channels, Dimitri.
Wow.
And yeah, I know. I don't even understand it. But here's the question. Is there a sense of this accelerated expansiveness? And is by changing our aura, will it help us to stay with it, go with the flow, take a look at the opportunities and literally shine?
Oh, absolutely. And I would say even that your awareness of it already changed your aura. The very sense that you had this desire to do this already showed up in your aura, already was a brighter energy in your aura. And then as you follow through with it, I had in my own case a very dramatic awakening many years ago. I was actually more in the creative field. I was going into, the film business and all of that. And I kind of call it my road to Damascus, my Saul on the road to Damascus moment, where it was a sort of a cataclysmic change. And I didn't even know what it was at first. I didn't even have a name for it. And then when I realized this was spiritual, I couldn't get enough of it. And actually, then I met Barbara, and, there's a reason they call her the Mozart of metaphysics. She has the most profound, shall we say, spiritual connection I've ever met in anybody. And that got me on the road to working with the aura, to meditating, and I've been doing this for decades, and it's only getting better, So yeah, what we tell people, your interest in this subject is not an accident. This is God calling on you, and it is happening around the world. It's not it's not happening because of one person. It's not happening only in one place. It's sort of like a grass that's growing all over the world, and it's just the time. The earth is going through a growing phase, and actually all the kingdoms, animals and plants, it's not just the human kingdom. We're all going through this growth spurt right now, and it's only going to increase over time. And our only job is really to fulfill our part in all of this. Since the light bulb is on, obviously if people listening to this, something has gone on, or they may not have been listening, so follow through with that. There's a reason that's happened, and it can take you to an extraordinary place, and it may have already been doing that for you. But the beauty of it is it doesn't stop. You can keep going further and further and further.
Yeah. And, part of this is really looking at what you wrote in the book. And I would like to ask you about this in particular, colors.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many people that have said, listen, I just had if I might say this, Dimitri, I just had my aura done. And, it doesn't look very good. I don't even know what that means, but that's what I want to talk with you about today, because you take us through mental, emotional states, physical states. How many layers are there to aura?
Oh my God, it's an intricate. It's a very, very intricate. But if I can back up the color for a moment, we have to change again our thinking there a little bit. We are color. We are a being of many colors. I mean, when we look at our physical body and we look at our skin and, it's kind of one tone and all of that, that's one piece of us. But to see the spiritual us, we would realize that we are like dazzling jewels. And we have to start acknowledging color is a door to consciousness. So, yes, these spiritual energies come through in specific colors. I have to share this story of Barbara. She was basically born seeing auras, and but she didn't know what the colors meant. She didn't know why some people had these very bright colors and other people had these very dark colors. And she knew she was repelled by the dark ones and attracted the light ones. Well, her father was a Greek priest, and one time she's 4 years old, and they were inaugurating a cathedral, and the archbishop was there with the bishops, and it was a huge event, and her father was a big part of it because he was also a builder of churches. And, little Barbara is looking at the aura of the archbishop, and it's really ugly. The colors are actually grotesque, even though it's an archbishop. But she's looking at the auras of the bishops on either side, and they have these beautiful radiant colors. So she couldn't figure out why it was like it was. Well, at the end, you're supposed to, the service, you're supposed to kiss the hand, in this case of the Archbishop. Well, little Barbara, in front of the whole congregation, screamed out, "Oh, no, I'm not kissing his hand. He's a monster. He eats children," And it was the first of, many spankings. And so for years, she didn't know what these colors meant. Then she met a woman, she taught theater outside, but she was also a Hermetic scientist. And one day she called Barbara in and basically said, "You can see the aura, can't you?" And, she's 11 years old at the time. She goes, "Oh, my God, is that what it's called?" And she's saying, "Look, I can see the aura too, and I want to teach you about your gifts." And my mother and grandmother were both Hermetic scientists. And, Dorothy had these handwritten books, and they talked about the aura, and particularly color, the interpretations, lemon yellow. So the not only the color, it's the hue of the color, and it's the placement of the color. So let's say a brilliant lemon yellow around the head area indicates a very good intellect, very good powers of concentration. However, if that lemon yellow were down to what they call kind of a dirty, creamy mustard, it means the exact opposite. Mental confusion, mental lethargy, all of that. So now with color interpretation, you have a key to unlock the understanding of your own aura, and you don't need to see it. So, for example, if this morning you got angry at somebody, you probably got some of what's called the dirty red, the vitiated dark red energy in your aura. Work on releasing it, because one strong outburst of anger can linger for 2 weeks in the auric field if it's unattended. So what happens is, as we work with the colors, that's one of the key ways of changing the aura, which, by the way, can even extend to clothing. And that's one of the new things we put in this book. The clothes you wear, the color of the clothes you wear, can have a positive or detrimental effect on your auric field. And I'm not speaking what's fashionable here, or, skin tones and all of that, seasons of the year. I'm not speaking as a fashion consultant. But strictly speaking, from the aura, the colors you are can definitely have an effect on your energy field.
Yeah. I want to ask you this. I want to change it. I want to change my energy. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. And, here's what it is. If you know me, if you took a picture of me that, was me playing table tennis in my 20s, and you looked at that picture, and then you looked at me today and were on air with me today, you would say, "Oh my gosh, she has had an aura makeover." Let's take a break, everybody. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this fabulous, fabulous book for those of you out there. But most importantly, the thing that I love about this conversation is that you are empowered, totally empowered. And we've got a copy of the book to give away. We'll be right back with the show.
Staring at two different views on your window ledge. Coffee is gone cold, it's like time froze.
Are you ready for a game changer? Sarah Westall is bringing you Business Game Changers Radio. Sarah brings you leading experts, visionaries, and newsmakers who provide the best commentary on big issues and cutting-edge innovations. Sarah's 20 years as a business executive will help you think like an entrepreneur with expertise, energy, and attitude. Tune into Business Game Changers Mondays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
The Doctor is in. Tune in to the hit show, The Psychic Love Doctor, with host Deborah Lee. Deborah's life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. Join Deborah Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific, and for a special broadcast the second Thursday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Do you want the freedom to spend more time with your loved ones? Travel the world? Live spontaneously? Get ready, because the Chip Justice Show is here. Hosts Dr. Pat Basile and Chip Justice can help you build meaningful success while embracing life. Living a life you love is the end game in this new, inspirational, and empowering show. Positive changes for a life you'll love. Tune in every month on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit PositiveChangeInstitute.co for more information.
Tune in to the Angels and Answers Psychic Radio Show with clairvoyants Artie Hoffman and Sky Siegel every Thursday for a 2-hour show, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio. Artie and Sky deliver spiritual and motivational messages with passion and a sense of humor. Call in 800-930-2819 for live and on-air readings. Visit artiehoffman.com and skyofangels.com.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
Discover the 8 things the elements of prosperity want you to know. Lynn Brown is hosting a life-transforming, soul-expanding evening on April 30th featuring guest speaker and radio host Dr. Pat Basili. Lynn was guided to make this a by-donation event for entrants, and all proceeds will be donated towards uplifting the homeless community. For more information and to get tickets, visit eventbrite.com. That's eventbrite.com and type Lynn Brown in the search.
Do you want to achieve your goals? Do you want to strengthen relationships with others? Do you want to improve your financial status? Colette Marie Steffen is partnering with Mark Kettenbach to bring you an energetic upgrade online experience launching in April. Unfold and develop your full potential. Visit energeticupgrade.com today for more information. That's energeticupgrade.com.
Floating down, I wish it. It's like I'm always causing problems,
Wow. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Pat. Hey, you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show on Transformation Talk Radio. And boy, a bunch of other stations. Change your aura, change your life. And, you know, this is a fabulous book, Dimitri. You're going to talk about this in a minute. But this is a fabulous book that has come out. And it really is a step-by-step guide. You might have some questions about your aura, how to change it, or you also might want a copy of the book, 1-800-930-2819. Dimitri, before we jump back in and really talk about this in a bit more detail, congratulations today on the book launch. Yeah, it's exciting.
We're excited. Yeah,
yep.
Excited.
And tell folks about not just about the book, but how they can find out more about spiritual arts, about the Institute, and, of course, get a copy of the book.
Absolutely. Well, of course, it is launch day, publication, so definitely Barnes & Noble and online bookstores, you know, Amazon, IndieBound, any of those places you can go get the book right now. Penguin Tarcher released it, and they're a great publisher to work with, and they really try to do titles that have a lot of spiritual integrity, and you know, it's been a pleasure working with them. We just, by the way, interestingly relocated ourselves. We're in the North San Diego County now. The Institute moved down here to open a brand new center, so that's going to happen in about a month if anybody's in the San Diego area. We do a lot of online classes. People join from all over the world. God bless them. Some of them, let's say, are calling at 3 o'clock in the morning to be part of a class. And you can go to spiritualarts.org to find out about our training programs, workshops, everything that we offer. Barbara and I started this years ago to really kind of organize these teachings and try to give them an enduring, you know, quality. We do healing work. Again, a lot of things are coming up. We actually have a free webinar coming up May 6th on a Friday night. Just go to the website and register there, or give us your email, and we'll send you information about it. But we would love for you to be a part of it. The phone number is 1-800-650-AURA, AURA 2872. Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for all of that. And, what's the webinar going to be about? Tell folks what that's going to help them with.
So we're going to, two things. We're going to go over a little bit, what the aura actually looks like. As you said, there's a lot of illustrations, and boy, were we painstaking with these illustrations to get them exactly the way Barbara sees it. The artists want to do all these creative embellishments and say, look, that looks pretty, but that's not the aura. This is like Grey's Anatomy. You have to make a liver look like a liver, So, so it's very, very visually detailed, full-color illustrations in there. So we'll show some of those at the webinar, and then also go into the steps of changing your aura, because there are definite, starting points. Just like you were saying a moment ago. Well, where do I start? Okay, I realize I need to do this, but where do I begin? So we will go into that, at the webinar as well, and give you some, and go through some meditation. So we are big on meditating. So we do meditating with light. We do what we call meditative prayers, where you actually call in the spiritual energies, and that's where the transformation process begins.
I love it. Yeah. I want to ask you this question. I want to ask you a question about challenges, so to speak, and what some of the what some of the challenges might be. And I know that we can sit here and we can talk about this and understand it, but it's an experience, isn't it? And I wanted to ask you to really talk with us about some of the examples that you also share in the book about how do you know that your aura actually needs to be changed? What are some of the things that show up? How do they show up? Do they show up in our body? Do they show up in our mind? Do they show up, in our relationships? All of the above?
All of the above, everything. So what you do is you start with the normal process of how you would like to improve yourself. The first thing actually we recommend, because like you said, there's many points we can start at. And remember, some of these things we've been building up over years, and you have to sometimes be a little patient and work on each one of their own accord, because every part of our life has its own, shall we say, energy. I could be very loving but not very good at business or finances. Well, we could say, but I'm so loving. Yeah, but that's good for loving, but you need to also develop the financial skills. That's a different side of your nature. So what we recommend is starting with to take a week-long self-survey of yourself. Don't judge yourself, but write down some categories about like emotions, career, finances, thoughts, and just take an inventory of yourself over the week. How you behave, how things flowed. Don't judge yourself. Don't try to change it. Take an average week. Then at the end of the week, look at it. And, for example, if you say, gosh, you know what, I got mad 5 times this week. Maybe anger really is an issue I have to work on. You're seeing it. It's like the baby that's crying the loudest is the one you're, going to give the milk to. So first, so you say, okay, I'm going to work on anger. And then you have a point of focus. One of the things I love most about this meditation is there's an intention with the meditation. Sure, you can just meditate to go into the oneness and feel life, but most of the time you're going to prepare your meditation ahead of time with a certain intention of what you want. Let's say to release anger, to feel more love, to feel more confidence. So then you will pick energies that will help you. Now in the book there's 10 energy rays we go over. So let's say if I do my survey and I realize, anger is an issue with me, I'm going to first work with a purifying ray, which would be an orange-red flame, to release that irritation and try to understand, what is it that makes me angry? Am I impatient? Am I upset at somebody? Try to target where that is, and you'll work through the aura and especially the chakras or energy centers when you're working on this. And then you'll follow up with another replenishing energy, because, by the way, if you did get angry, you not only did you create a dark light in the aura, but you also depleted the energy of the aura because it took energy to get angry. I tell myself now, I don't have the luxury of an unenlightened emotion. It's just too, even if I'm right, it's too draining on my energy to get upset about it. And then you need to build up the aura, so you would work with this array of balance and harmony, emerald green, the love which everyone, of course, likes to work with, the deep rose pink. And this starts the process of changing. And then when you're in that situation again where you might want to kind of lose it, since you did all this meditating, you'll hopefully catch yourself at that point and say, well, wait a minute, I don't have to react in the same way. And then, well, maybe one day you're successful, the next day you're not. But if you stay with it over time, before you know it, without even realizing it, let's say that situation will come up and it didn't even occur to you to get angry because you changed that part of your energy field. You corrected something and now you're stronger for it. And the beautiful thing of working in it kind of a little bit at a time, rather than try to take everything at once, is that you'll see success quicker and it will build more confidence. If you see, my God, I actually changed. I never thought this part of me could get better. I thought that's just the way I was. And now you actually see the change, then you're going to feel much more confident to go into other areas of your life and say, okay, I'm going to improve here too. And one by one, you'll conquer all of them. Eventually, we're trying to get to what's called the enlightened aura, where all facets of the energy field are brought into the brilliant hue. And we reach this state of spiritual enlightenment. And we are all meant to be, by the way, enlightened. It's not for the lucky few. It's not a matter of if that will happen, it's a matter of when. And we're all more or less heading in that direction at our own pace.
Yeah. I love this. And, here's what I want to do. I want to take a short break. And when we come back, I want to kind of, talk about something that we've been talking about as a theme for this week. And it's probably something that is in the book that many people think, oh, I don't know why that would even be in here. Building prosperity. Let's take a short break. When we come back, what does prosperity and aura, what do those two kissing cousins have to do with each other? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Atana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Atana Badili. All you need to do is visit his website, atanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com, and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's atanamethod.com.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Disease, one of the most dreaded words in our vocabulary. Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Did you know traditionally we have viewed disease as a degenerative process? Disease is better understood when we view it as dis-ease in the human body. Dis-ease means without ease. Health is not merely the absence of disease, it's when every part of the body works together effortlessly, relaxed and at ease. It's that relaxed state that lets energy flow in waves through and around the entire body. Every organ has an electrical charge, and when overcharged or undercharged, dis-ease occurs. And it is an effort to go through our day. We are able to determine the exact dis-ease of the body and design a specific solution to correct the nutritional imbalance. Contact us at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. And visit us at MaryJaneMack.com.
Let me show you the way to go.
Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Again, change your aura, change your life. A step-by-step guide to unfolding your spiritual power. Dimitri, thank you for the show today. I know that, we've barely touched the surface of the many juicy things you've put in the book. But I did want to ask you about one particular area. In the book, you have a section called Improving Personal Affairs. And I was reading the book, and all of a sudden I'm like, what? Building prosperity? Let me see how this works. And so I thought, I've got to ask you, how does this work?
Well, that's really pretty exciting because to understand that there's actual an energy of prosperity in the aura. So when you are in your prosperity consciousness, you will have this very beautiful, brilliant turquoise light in your aura. And that shows that you have an inner understanding of the divine principles of prosperity and awareness. So this is one of the divine attributes. Remember, prosperity is as much a part of the God principles as anything else. I mean, it's one of the higher teachers, the lessons of money right now are some of the biggest world lessons we're facing right now currently. There's more wealth in the world than there's ever been, and of course there's also more sometimes desire to manipulate and control that wealth. But as we understand the wealth principles, that will help to lead us to an enlightened age. And money is a key part of our life. Some people in the spiritual work kind of poo-poo money, like, oh, it's not spiritual, it's not important. No, it's your earth power. And as you handle your earth power, you can handle divine powers and you can achieve your purpose again. Now, there are basically two things that separate us from God's wealth. And we could talk weeks on both of these subjects. One is basically poverty consciousness, and the other is attachment to money. When we don't think we're worthy of the infinite wealth of God, and we hold ourselves in this poor me kind of a thing, we actually shut ourselves off from that higher flow of divine energy, which will manifest in that way. Because if it's in your aura, it will show up in your life, and if it's not, you just have to build it there. Several years ago, when I was still in the film business, sometimes it's a feast or famine. You're working absolutely crazy, or you're not working at all. And I was in that quiet phase, and Barbara was looking at my Hermetic Center, which is the heart chakra, which is where you manifest your wealth. And she saw this beautiful turquoise light. Now, at that moment, I wasn't working. But a very short time later, one of the best jobs I had came up, and it was because it was already brewing in my energy. So what we say is build that energy flow in your aura, hold true to it, even if it isn't always objectified in your life. People work with this turquoise ray, and then they expect the money to fall in their lap the next day. Once in a while, that does actually happen, but often you have to hold that energy. Don't let those worry thoughts get in there, and be also sensible with obviously the things you need to do to manifest wealth. But as you hold into the consciousness of wealth, wealth will objectify in your life. Why is it somebody that's basically penniless can walk into a town and in a short period of time amass money? They have an intuitive understanding of what prosperity really is. At the same time, we don't want to be attached to it. If money is your top primary objective, then you essentially are putting your allegiance to money and not to God. But as you align with God, the money will flow as it's meant to. So balance those two things in your life with that turquoise energy, and the prosperity you seek will come. We are, children of God, and we're the inheritors of the divine kingdom. But we have to, like any inheritance, you do have to claim it. And we claim it through consciousness. And you can demonstrate that in your life. As you live that conscious energy, you'll be amazed at how things will start to come into your sphere of activity if you're patient and you stay positive.
Mm-hmm. I love this because, one of the things I read was under building prosperity was where you stand is your prosperity. And then you talk about activating the spiritual power of abundance, that God gave you a special power ray one of the 12 power rays.
Exactly.
And I was so interested in this because, you know, what is it that we can know about this power ray? That money is a form of energy, you know, earth power, and so many different layers of this. And I think this ties right into something else you say. Isn't it difficult, if not impossible, to attract abundance if you are sitting in fear, any form of it, or doubt?
Well, you are shooting yourself in the foot energetically. You know, so we often are the big inhibitors of our own success, not outside situations. Yeah, it's easy to get discouraged. You know, financially things pop up and we think, oh, poor me, or maybe we were brought up in an environment where you were taught to worry about those things. You know, but the point is, like you said at the beginning of the program, you can change these things. These are not fixed things. We are a soul. That's an immortal spark of life. So inherently within each of us is this goodness. And we just have to be diligent to bring it out. And yes, there is this beautiful power ray of prosperity that's in the heart chakra, and it's built into every heart chakra of every person on this earth. Whether you are the richest man on earth or the poorest right now, that same energy is still there, or the core of it, I should say, is there. But you do have to access it and tap it. We often do think our prosperity is out there somewhere. So by realizing the connection is within, then it will still deal with things of the outer, but we won't be dependent on them. You know, if I look at my employer as the source of my income, then I'm going to put myself in kind of a little bit of a less than scenario because I don't want to do anything to hurt that employer because they'll fire me and I'll lose my, you know, that kind of a thing. But if I realize that that employer is the channel of money, but not the source of it, I'll honor the channel, but if for some reason it's taken away, something else will come up. So that you know, Thomas Friedman said it right about the world is flat. You know, he wrote that book for his children to say, look, it's now not about being constantly employed. It's a new world now. It's about being constantly employable. We have to stay on top of our game now. That's the way the world is. So we have to stay sharp, and that's actually a good thing. It'll keep us more talented. It'll keep us on our toes. I mean, do we want to just do one thing and stay with it the rest? That's not, like you said, the world's changing too fast. It's not that world anymore. We're in a different world now.
Yeah, it used to be it was okay to learn how to swim. Now you have to learn how to surf.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you're me, you're doing a doggy paddling. That's it. And then all of a sudden you have to learn how to swim because the tide's picking up. Now you better be learning how to surf. That's really what we're talking about when we're talking about energy and abundance, aren't we?
Yeah. And there's also kite surfing. Like, you're right. It's like so many different options now. But that's the opportunities. That's the age that we're living in. And we should embrace that. It's a good thing. It'll give us more talent. You know, there was someone I knew, and they were talking about how there was a very well-known ophthalmologist, but he was basically practicing a technique that he had learned 20 years ago. Well, do you want somebody, you know, doing surgery on an old technique, or do you want somebody that's got, you know, staying on top of every latest thing?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so that's the world we live in now, and we need to look at that as opportunity for growth and expansion, and also, again, satisfaction. And that we'll do it in our own rhythm, and also holding to the knowing that you do have a place in this world. You do have a place in the divine plan. The Holy Ones tell us, and they don't say this just to make us feel good. They say that if one soul were missing, creation would not be complete.
What a great way to end this show. Wow. Thank you so much for today. It was amazing to have you on the show.
Oh, my great pleasure.
All right, everybody. It was also amazing to have all of you tune us in and turn us on. We will see you next time.
Oh, I beg
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.